This is an emergency live stream. Please stand by for a Smitty announcement. Alert! Alert! This is an emergency live stream. Please stand by for a Smitty announcement. Alert! Alert! This is an emergency live stream. Please stand by for a Smitty announcement. Alert! Alert! This is an emergency live stream. Please stand by for a Smitty announcement. Alert! Alert! This is an emergency live stream. Please stand by for a Smitty announcement. Alert! Alert! This is an emergency live stream. Please stand by for a Smitty announcement.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Rhamondre Stevenson, Dameon Pierce, and Brian Robinson, please report to the principal's office.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
Look, we've got 3 potential sleeper win-a-league type running backs to talk about right now because there's news on all of them. They're all climbing up the lineup rankings, the depth charts fast in their situations. And some of these guys you don't recognize because these are new faces. Now, Rhamondre Stevenson here in the middle you should recognize because he is not a rookie. But right here, Dameon Pierce, you might not know what he looks like. Now you do. Now you do. This guy right here, this beast of a man called Dameon Pierce is going to win leagues potentially for people He's a monster. And the guy on the very end, you may have remembered, you might kind of be like, that guy looks familiar. Looks like a washed up guy. Where's he at? What's he doing these days? Is that guy retired? This guy at the very end? Yeah, that's Antonio Gibson. Antonio Gibson has been apparently potentially demoted. I don't know. We'll kind of look at it. And Khalil Herbert needs to be talked about as well. And I probably should have put him on this list because, you know, we need to do that. Let's put Khalil Herbert on here as well. Might have to drop him on the side because I didn't put him in the graphic. But Khalil Herbert is in the same situation. Khalil Herbert, let's pull him up and put him on screen. These 4 running backs, all of them are deserving to be talked about in the same breath. Even Khalil Herbert. So I'm not leaving him out. Khalil, here you come, buddy. Hang on, Khalil. Here we come. We're coming for you. He gets his own little, he gets to stand out by himself right there. Khalil Herbert, Dameon Pierce, Rhamondre Stevenson. I'm sorry. I was mixing them up. My bad. This guy right here is going to win leagues, Dameon Pierce, okay? Dameon Pierce is such a monster between the tackles. Absolutely love him. I want to know who's your favorite of these 4 running backs heading into 2022. Is it Dameon Pierce? Is it maybe the late additional Khalil Herbert? Is it Rhamondre Stevenson, who's not the rookie of the group? I would love to know what you think. Here's the news. We'll pull it up real quick and talk about it. This is the most recent news right here. B. Robinson, this guy, is going to start potentially for this team right out of the gate. We didn't think it would happen this quickly. He was being talked about as a player that was going to get the early down work in goal line situations, be the goal line back. Now B-Rob is looking like potentially the starter because what does Gibson do in his preseason game this past week? Fumbles the football, puts the ball on the ground, something he struggled with very, very often in the past. The Washington Post is reporting that Antonio Gibson is practicing with the Commanders' punt team and third string offense. Now, he could climb back up, okay? And I know a lot of Gibson dynasty owners are going to come rolling in and going, Smitty, relax. They're just punishing him. He'll be fine. Well, good luck with that. I have a feeling this guy, Brian Robinson, has already grabbed a hold of the starting running back job. He's elusive for his size. He's strong. He's got the ability to really do anything they need him to do. He's hungry. He's young. He's ready to learn. He's not an injury-prone player like Gibson already has proven to be. And would I scoop Gibson up late in a draft? I suppose I would. I suppose I would at the right price, but what's the right price anymore? It's not even 6th or 7th round value. Like, would I take him in 8 or 9 and cuff him to Brian Robinson? Yeah, you heard me right. Would I cuff Antonio Gibson to Brian Robinson? Yeah, I probably would. Antonio Gibson may have just become, in the last couple of seconds, in my mind, one of the better backups in the entire National Football League. He's one of the better handcuffs. He might be a super handcuff. He might have turned from avoid to a super handcuff in a matter of seconds. We don't even know if he's the backup though. That's the problem. Is what if it's Jarrett Payton? What if it's McKissick? We don't really know, but I know Gibson is no longer the starter in Washington. To me, to you, to probably everybody watching, it is now B-Rob. What a nickname, too. We used to like Gibby, but now Gibby reminds me of Gimpy. And he's always gimpy and gimping around, and he's injured. And now he's lost his job. He's dropping the football. And now we've got a guy that's got a nickname like B-Rob, which is just par for the course for a monster. It's B-Rob time. B-Rob is now the starter, in my mind, no matter what. Even if he's not listed as a starter on opening day, he's the starting running back to own in Washington. He's got all the upside. He's got all the potential touchdown production that you can ask for a rookie walking into his first game. B-Rob could win leagues for people in 2022. Grab him as late as you can, but don't pass up on B-Rob. And don't forget to grab his handcuff, Antonio Gibson. So B-Rob, congratulations, young man. B-Rob, you have just been Smitty approved.
just been Smitty approved.
Blackbeard isn't happy right now because there are about 90 to 100 people popping in and out, and there are only 23 likes. Please punch that thumb up and help your boy Smitty pop that algorithm. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so B-Rob, we've covered that. Next up is Dameon Pierce. This monster right here. This guy right here, Dameon Pierce, knows how to handle himself in a Bill Belichick, I'm sorry, Bill Belichick, Houston. I'm all over the place. I got Rhamondre Stevenson. Hold on, Rhamondre. I got Rhamondre Stevenson on my mind. This guy right here, Dameon Pierce, is the starter, essentially the starter already in Houston. Rhamondre Stevenson's working my way up my brain. I'm all over the place already. I got Khalil Herbert I added down here. There's a lot of sleeper running backs on the screen right here. But this guy, Dameon Pierce in Houston, has already climbed up into the lineup. Him and Dameon Pierce are essentially, or B-Rob, are essentially already the starters. Dameon Pierce, starter, already. B-Rob, starter, already. I don't care if they don't even get the official start. They are the starters. Rhamondre Stevenson appears to be the starter, in my mind at least, walking into 2022. Now, he definitely could be like a 55-45 type timeshare split with Damian Harris, who I think has earned a shot to remain relevant. But there's already reports here. This report right here, I don't know if it's this one or the next one. This right here, well, this report's important. Let's go ahead and get rid of this Antonio Gibson piece. This right here, Bill Belichick said Rhamondre Stevenson has done a real good job improving his passing game skills, which is absolutely phenomenal to hear for a guy that needs that part of his game to get 3 down potential workload. Whenever you hear something like this from the head coach, especially Bill Belichick, it means great things. It means that Bill trusts him. He trusts him not only in certain situations, but he trusts him near full time. And Rhamondre Stevenson is the kind of guy that has that all-around game that if he gets in a flow, Bill's not taking him out to rotate him, and he would stick to him. Rhamondre Stevenson's the kind of guy that can get multiple touchdowns in one game. He's the kind of running back that could have that 125 yards on the ground, 2 TDs, 45 receiving yards. Absolutely love him. Mike wants to know, is it Rashad Penny season? You want me to tell you what I think of that, Mike?
You've just been Smitty disapproved.
Why would it be Rashad Penny season? Mike? You know, way to come in and just kind of deflate the live stream. Why would it be Rashad Penny season? My broski, why would it be Rashad Penny season? What would make you even come in and say something like that to me? Rhamondre Stevenson is literally on his way to the moon right now. This is a guy that could be a running back 2 in fantasy. You're getting him quite late. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate the humor. You're getting him quite late. I don't know how long that's going to last, but we're talking like round 7, round 8. You're finding this guy, Rhamondre Stevenson, floating around round 7, round 8. Dameon Pierce, round 7, round 8. Brian Robinson's been in double-digit territory, but you can bet your bottom dollar after today and all the times we move this guy up ADP rankings in the next couple of days and next couple of weeks, you won't find him. You'll find him in the 6th round. Like, B-Rob is going to be going in round 6 very, very soon, if not tonight. Like, how are you going to get this guy as a steal? I don't think you're going to. Kyron Williams is definitely a guy to keep an eye on. His foot, we got to keep monitoring his foot. He broke a bone in his foot, and he's been healing and getting stronger. But with soft tissue injuries to both Cam Akers and Darrell Henderson, it looks like Kyron Williams could be in a good position to maybe have a cracked window of opportunity to try and grab a hold of. We'll see. Don't get too excited about Kyron Williams, but definitely keep your eyeballs on him. And if you're in a deeper league, grab him, hold him, and let's hope that he gets a shot, because I really like Kyron Williams. And Kyron Williams isn't a guy where we're like, okay, Who's on what team? Oh, Kyron Williams is over here. Maybe I like Kyron Williams. No, it was I like Kyron Williams. Where's he gonna land? And he landed in a Rams uniform. And it's like, you know, that's not a bad situation because I don't believe in Cam. Cam's not gonna be an elite running back this year, in my opinion, if he even stays healthy. I think he gets banged up. He's already dealing with soft tissue injuries. Not that Darrell Henderson isn't. He is too. But Cam Akers is highly injury prone. And if you want to argue that with me, feel free. You know, I'll even open the phone line up for you. If you want to come in and argue that you can't call someone injury prone or that Cam Akers isn't injury prone, come in and try me because Cam Akers is absolutely that. He was my number one avoid injury prone player walking into 2021. And what happened? Torn Achilles tendon. So I'm pretty sure that goes hand in hand with what I said. I'm not a mathematician. I've got a psych degree, not a mathematics degree, but I pretty much, or a science degree, but I pretty much feel like I nailed that one. Thank you for the super chat, Jake. Jake, my boy. Jake is dropping a $4.99 or higher. Gets a standing O.
Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy.
Wearing my Javante shirt again, by the way. Somebody else dropped a super chat in here. I may have missed it. Let me go back and try and find it. I think there was another one in here, I believe. Jake says, Zeke and Gibson are into fuzzy cuffs, I guess. Thoughts on Walker behind that line in Seattle? Rank Edmonds, Pierce, Stevenson, Miami, paid Edmonds. I feel like if I'm going to rank those running backs, I'm going... God, I don't know if I'm going Pierce or Stevenson. Who do you guys like better, Pierce or Stevenson? What two of these sleeping giant monsters above here, Rhamondre Stevenson or Dameon Pierce right here? Which of the two do you like, or which one do you like better of the two? If you had to pick, let's help out Jake. But it's really down to those two guys. 104 of you in here. Please punch that thumb up button. We only got 50 of them. Half of you are punching the thumb up button. Please wipe your feet on the way in the door. It really helps the channel out. Helps me do what I do here. It helps me go live more and more. You know, anytime there's breaking news, I go live. And the only thing I truly ask, of course, anything you ever do, super chat wise, never expected, always appreciated. I appreciate you guys so much. And they opened up super thanks on the videos where you can actually do a super chat called super thanks when a video is already up. And then I pin that comment that's in the comments of a video that's been up for a while. It's called super thanks. Appreciate anybody that's been doing that. I'll pin your comment anytime you do a super thanks. But the one thing I do ask is you hit that thumb up button because it does help the videos pop on YouTube and helps know that they need to push this out to more people, and that gets the show more popular. It gets the show more exposure. It gives me more ability to do what I do and be able to go live anytime news breaks. So please punch that thumb up button. That's all I ask. I sent a super hat earlier, says Lee. A super chat earlier? Let's see. Lee, where is your super? There it is. So how do we say, what do we say on this one right here? What do we say here? Stevenson, the report out of camp was Mac was mediocre. Okay. But what about this one right here? Stevenson, Pierce not close. Rhamondre because of the team around him. Pierce, Stevenson. Everybody's torn, bro. If I had to rank them, I would probably say Pierce, then Stevenson. But that's how I'd rank those. And yeah, we're worried about Zeke. We're worried about Gibby. This question from Lee. My league is giving me a hard time because I traded Pittman, Julio, and Swift for Javante and CD. You traded Pittman, Julio, and Swift for Javante and CD, and they have a problem with that. They think you gave up too much and you got Javante Williams and CD Lamb. I don't even understand how you can get a hard... Like, you could argue both sides. That's ridiculous, bro. That's ridiculous. And to answer this question in conjunction with the super chat, ATG wants to know, how early would I draft Javonte? I would draft Javonte at number 13 overall, meaning he is the best second drafted player, the best second player to own in fantasy football 2022. I try and get him as late as I can, but if I'm holding a 13 overall pick, I got the 12 and 13 picks, I'm taking him in the first pick in the second round. If I've got a 15 pick, I'm taking him at 15. If I've got the 14 overall, I'm taking him at the 14. I'm not taking him in round 1 because you don't need to, but anywhere inside round 2, smash. And I'm just dumbfounded right now, Lee, that your league is upset. Show them this clip. It's 20 minutes in. Exactly 20 minutes in is when I pretty much bring this up. They're trying to tell me that Swift and Javonte are far apart. Look, I love Swift, but I'm drafting Swift and Javonte back-to-back all the time. I don't care if that feels like a reach in round 2 because Javonte's got kind of traditionally right now a mid to late round 2 ADP, but I don't care. I'm drafting Javonte anywhere inside round 2. Him and Swift are going to actually be very close in 2022 end of season. And I actually quietly like Javonte more. I think Javonte could be the number 1 running back in fantasy football 2022. And you got guys that literally keep talking about Melvin Gordon constantly, and they don't acknowledge that this man he's probably got the best balance in the entire National Football League. Javonte Williams. The best balance and ability to stay balanced after a direct hit than anybody in the National Football League. That's not a knock on JT. That's not a knock on other players. It's just plain fact. How is it fact? Because I have stats to back it up. Stats that correlate to that specific statement, like broken tackles. You don't break broken tackles unless you have great balance. If you're the number 1 broken tackle machine in the entire National Football League on halftime work, that means you have the best balance in the NFL, and my stats back that up. That's fact. That's fact. You can't be the number 1 tackle breaking player in the National Football League, especially at halftime, and not have the best balance in the entire National Football League. So Javonte season's underway. It's a matter of time, and the guy's going to lead the league in broken tackles probably again. Probably be top 2 or 3 in 20-plus yards. Probably be top 2 or 3 in 40-plus yards. Probably be top 4 in rushing yards. Probably be top 5 in touchdowns. Probably shock the world in the PPR departments. I mean, let's go. Let's go. It is Javonte and Swift season. I love both of them. Kamara got the best balance. I don't know about that, bro. Especially, what kind of balance has he been using lately? Rhamondre Stevenson to the
moon.
Dameon Pierce, this man right here, playing for the Houston Texans, probably has the number 1 running back job on lock, at least low key.
To the moon.
B. Robinson appears to be the starter already. Antonio Gibson practicing with the third team. Special teams. Gibson.
You've just been Smitty disapproved.
B. Rob to the moon. And then, of course, our man right here, Khalil Herbert. Look, similar to Gibson being kind of demoted playing special teams, Montgomery has been cited and talked about as a special team contributor this coming season. That is not good news for David Montgomery owners or prospective David Montgomery owners. I'm seeing a couple fantasy sites and communities out there and content creators ranking Monty in their top 10 running backs. Here's a real solid running back. He's got a lot of upside. Very solid guy. Workload, there's no committee. Workload's guaranteed. They're gonna run the ball a lot. Tough-nosed runner. No, Monty is playing special teams right now, which maybe he tries to do both, start and play special teams. That's not good. That's not good. Not only is he more susceptible to injury if he's playing special teams, but that is an indicator. That is an indicator that maybe his starting workload isn't actually going to be there in 2022. Khalil Herbert is so impressive whenever he touches the football. It wouldn't shock me at all if he was starting no matter what by week 8. If he was starting by week 6, it wouldn't shock me. If he was getting half the work or even 40% of the work without Monty even getting hurt by week 1 or 2, it wouldn't shock me if Khalil Herbert was a 30 to 45% ball carrier. And yeah, it's not Bryce Hall, it's Breece Hall. It's Breece Hall. And Breece Hall in round 2, no. He's a round 4 player right now. Not because Breece Hall deserves to be there. It's disrespect. It's almost extremely disrespectful to put Breece Hall round 4, but guess what? That's where he's going. So we're going to take advantage of it. Breece Hall is going to win leagues in round 4. If we don't take advantage of the gifts that are being given to us, like Breece Hall round 4, like Joe Burrow occasionally in round 7 right now, but definitely round 6, but occasionally round 7.
To the moon.
Wrong button. If we don't take advantage of DK in round 5, or any of these guys right here in like 7 and beyond. No, I didn't mean Gibson. Gibson is a handcuff at this point. I mean, look at these bad boys right here. Rhamondre Stevenson, Dameon Pierce, Brian Robinson, the rookie running back for the Washington Commanding Football Team Presidents. I mean, these 3 guys are ready to ball. And then Khalil Herbert, who might be on a little list.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
Space Monsters.
This is Khalil Herbert, if you didn't know. Now you know. And part of me wants to put B. We can't put everybody on this list, but part of me wants to put B. Rob on there right now. I'm just getting an itch to do it, but I can't put everybody on this list. We're almost getting it too full already. Blackbeard, appreciate you in here. We got 130 people in here, 71 thumbs up, pretty respectable number. But if you guys want to hit 100, the 100 mark, I appreciate it. Breece Hall round 4, win a league potential. ETN round 3-4, win a league potential. Try and get ETN and Hall in round 4, but you might not be able to get ETN in round 4 anymore. He might be a round 3 lock. What was once Hall in round 3 and ETN in round 4, a potential 1-2 punch in rounds 3 and 4 for your running back 1 and your running back 2. If, let's say, you went wide receiver in rounds 1 and 2, you could go Breece Hall in round 3, ETN in round 4. Now they've switched. ETN's going to round 3. Breece Hall's going to round 4. Scoop them both up if you need 2 running backs. I don't even care if you get DeAndre Swift and Lamb in the first or second round. You come back and you say to yourself, okay, I got a running back and I got a wide receiver. I've got Swift as my RB1. I've got Lamb as my wide receiver 1. Do I go running back and wide receiver in the 3rd and 4th round? No, you don't have to. You could go ETN and then Breece Hall. And I don't care if you've got 3 running backs as long as you can start them. Boom. Boom. Great team you got building there, Bob. And then you get this guy, Joseph Cigar Smoking Burrow, in round 6 or 7. Absolutely love it. I like ETN's skill set way more than Hall, says Avi. I don't. I love them both. They're both very different. I love both of them. They both bring a top 5 to 10 mentality to the table, a skill set to the table. They could be top 5 to 10. Herbert at 3.1 is early. Yeah. Herbert, I assume you mean Justin Herbert, not Khalil Herbert, because Khalil Herbert's a double-digit round pick. Herbert at 3.1 is a little early. I'd rather have Burrow in round 6 or 7. It's like double. You're getting him at double the price, or the double the discount. Elvis has left the building 45 years ago, says Hazel. Evans over Herbert 3.1. I'd have to agree with that, but there might be other players I like better than both of them. If Washington doesn't like Gibson, why don't they use him as a receiver instead? Sean, they may explore that this year, but he's dropping the football, so I don't think they want him touching the football at all right now. Special teams, I don't even know if he'd be touching the football or if he'd be tackling or what. I don't even know what his special teams contribution would even be. Brees Hall is Roger Craig's cousin, by the way, says Hazelnut. Burrow and Chase league winner. Carolina, you're going to see a video come out either today, tomorrow, or the next day that talks about one of my very favorite 2022 draft strategies that wins leagues, and it is drafting Jamar Chase in round 1, no matter where it is. You know, JT number 1 overall, but then it's Jamar Chase. Number 2, sign me up. Number 2.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Number 2 overall.
You've just been Smitty approved.
I'm for it. You can draft Jamar Chase number 2 overall. I'm for it. Draft Jamar Chase number 2 overall. Draft Joe Burrow in the 6th or 7th round. You win a league, Carolina. You win a league. That is one of my favorite, if not my very favorite, draft strategies right now for 2022. Chase in 1, Burrow in 6 or 7, win a league time. You wrap that up with a 2nd round pick, a 3rd round pick, a 4th round pick, a 5th round pick, maybe a 6th round pick, and you got talent galore all around that package. That is a stack that gets surrounded by other ultra talented players. Are you wrong for wanting to draft Najee number 2? No. Dameon Harris or Brian Robinson? Well, T-Who, I don't know. I mean this in a nice way. I'm not trying to I'm trying to just make a point. Okay, so don't take offense to this. Have thick skin here. I'm trying to explain something here. But if I just got through telling you that B. Robinson and Rhamondre Stevenson are going to the moon, and then you ask me, is Dameon Harris? Do I want Dameon Harris, who is essentially being bumped out by Rhamondre, or do I want Brian Robinson, who is going to the moon? I don't know how to really respond to that, other than I just got through spending 32 minutes telling you how Brian Robinson and Rhamondre Stevenson are going to the moon, bro.
To the moon.
You know, so of course I'm not going to advise you to take Dameon Harris over Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson's a Martian, potentially. He's a moonwalker. And Dameon Harris is on his way potentially to the bench by this man, Rhamondre Stevenson. So how in the heck am I going to come in here and advise you to take Dameon Harris? So again, don't take offense to that. I'm merely trying to highlight what I've been doing for 32 minutes and 58 seconds. Congratulations on having B-Rob, though, T-Who, if you do end up having B-Rob. And I appreciate you being here, and it's a great question, and it helped a lot of people, okay? Klein wants to know, keeping Debo at 9.11 value, hoping to get 2 of Aaron Jones, Swift, Lamb, Diggs at the 1-2 turn. Give me Swift, give me Lamb, give me Diggs, and then give me a little tiny tier break Aaron Jones. I don't think Aaron Jones, in my opinion, is as safe as those other guys. So just wanted to rank those there for you. I would just avoid New England backfield if at all possible. I would be with you, Linda, if it wasn't a good value right now for Rhamondre. Once Rhamondre starts climbing into ridiculous territory, which he most certainly will, then we might have to back off the Rhamondre train. Rhamondre or B-Rob, I mean, we've already gone over this, but I'll answer it in case you weren't here. I would say if I had to pick, I go back and forth, clearly. If I had to rank these guys, these 3 running backs, I would say Dameon, then B-Rob, then Rhamondre. But that isn't to say that if Rhamondre was anointed the starter. I feel like Rhamondre's a sliver behind the other 2. I think Dameon Pierce and Brian Robinson, B-Rob, are near locks to being the starter. And the volume's there. The momentum's there. Stevenson feels a hair behind that certainty because Dameon Harris is still productive Damien Harris is still probably pretty well liked by Bill. And so we don't fully know. There's a little bit more unknown and risk involved in Rhamondre versus these two guys. This guy right here is Dameon Pierce. This guy right here is B. Robinson. Brian Robinson, B-Rob. The B-Rob. But, like Meet the Woo saying here, sleeping giant Stevenson, if Stevenson gets anointed the starting job, and let's say even Damien Harris went down, then Rhamondre becomes the number one of the three. You know what I'm saying? It's not very, very clear cut. And I could waver back and forth all day long on it. This is almost too long for my attention span right now, Joshua. I find that I can't even read anything even half of this length right now with all the live streams I'm doing. My brain doesn't even function anymore. I'm on 2 hours of sleep. I was cranking out stuff last night. Joshua says, in a 2 wide receiver, 2 running back, 1 flex PPR 12-man format with the 6th pick, do you take any running backs that fall over Kupp, Jefferson, or Jamar Chase? It is JT in a PPR and then those 3 wide receivers. If it's Dynasty, I maybe move Kupp down to the bottom of round 2 or somewhere in the mid to bottom round 2. I still feel like he's a first rounder in Dynasty because 2 to 3 years is a long time. But Lamb might move ahead of him. So if it's a redraft PPR, it is JT, Jamar Chase, JJ, Cooper Kupp, Najee. And then maybe even Swift right after that. That's how I feel. And I don't even think you're crazy if you draft DeAndre Swift number 2 overall. I'm not saying do it. I'm just saying I wouldn't even like look at you funny. I'd be like, bro, you got some cojones on you. And I do feel like you could trade down. Like I would probably say that to somebody. I'd probably say, okay, you took Swift at number 2. You didn't have to. But I respect it. And I think he could earn it. But I would recommend somebody trading down because Swift is traditionally going no earlier than number 6 or 7 overall. And that would be early. That would be somebody that knows what they're doing at number 6 overall, number 7 overall. They're on the clock. The 3 wide receivers are gone. Najee's gone. And somebody that really knows what they're doing would consider Swift at 6 or 7. So you don't need to take him at 2. I repeat, you don't need to take him at 2. I'm just merely telling you that it's something that Kamara isn't fine. My opinion. That is your opinion. That is correct. Swift could be fine, but he's not fine. He's not for sure fine. Anybody that says Swift is a guaranteed lock to play the entire season doesn't have all of the information. No offense, my opinion. You are flipping me off as I'm talking to you, though, so I feel like I do have to be a little firm with you. But Kamara is not fine. That is not an accurate statement. Kamara could be fine, but he's not fine. Kamara essentially is at the mercy of the leaking tape. If that tape gets leaked, that footage is leaked, the video's leaked, then Kamara is in trouble. If Kamara's trial starts before the season ends, Kamara could be very well raptured from the NFL and put on the paid exempt list, because putting someone on the paid exempt list is not punishment. It is a form of, hey, go take care of your business. We'll pay you. We want you to make sure you take care of this. We can't handle the distraction. But if he's going to trial, if the trial begins, a lot of people think, okay, they've heard this from people. They regurgitate it. People say things like, hey, Kamara's going to push the trial. There's no way it can conclude by the time the season ends. So if it concludes in March or April or May, then how could he get? He's not going to get suspended. The NFL's waiting for the case to play out. He'll be fine. That sounds good in theory, right? Okay, yeah, maybe he won't get handed down a suspension until March or April or May. But the NFL handing down discipline is different than handing Kamara a paid leave invitation. Or not an invitation. They're not asking him. They'll be like, hey, you're on paid leave. Go take care of your business. Don't worry. We got you. Unless you're guilty, we're going to come for you later. But the NFL is going to say, we got you. we're going to pay you, but you got to go. We can't have you go into court over this assault charge where you were arrested. And that's another thing too. Like, I feel like Schefter and all these analysts that are talking about this are just kind of they're almost speaking in like absolutes, and we don't know. The true thing is we don't know. Kamara was arrested. He was arrested. The league does typically let it play out. Kamara is too good to get in trouble. That's not even close to the case anymore. That's not the way it works in the NFL anymore. I don't know why people say that. The NFL is not about, oh, you're look at Deshaun Watson right now. They're about to give him a full year. You don't just get out of things if you're just because you're an athlete now. It comes down to perception and PR and all that. If you're on the wrong side of PR, the NFL is going to put you on the bench. The NFL, look at Calvin Ridley. He's too good to get suspended, is he not? But he got suspended a full year. NFL is a heavy hand one moment, like our buddy Tony, the attorney, always says, a heavy hand one moment and not a heavy hand the next moment. That's the way Roger Goodell governs. Okay, Turtle, I hear you. I appreciate you, Turtle. But what I'm saying is Alvin Kamara. Okay, I got you. Turtle. Sometimes I can't tell if you guys are serious. Alvin Kamara, if a trial begins, let's say in week 13, I firmly believe the NFL will say, Goodell will say, you are going on the exempt list, paid. We'll take care of you. We're taking care of our people, but you're out of here. Exempt list, paid, is what Goodell will probably say. Let me get all this stuff off the screen. It's just, all of it's in the way. What am I doing? Here's another report on Rhamondre, by the way. He's playing the James White role. It's just setting up perfectly for Rhamondre. Where was I at? Kamara. How did we get on Kamara again? Oh, because someone said he's fine. And I had to literally come in and dive into this topic. Turtle says, love you, Smitty. I'll call soon. Okay. Phone lines are open. Dial in. Kamara's not fine. Maybe he's fine, but he's not fine. He's not for sure fine. Because like the NFL could suspend him or put him on paid leave for being arrested, period. They do want the NFL does want the legal process to play out in criminal court when criminal situations arise. For sure. But keep in mind that the NFL also looked at and examined the Deshaun Watson situation, and his stuff hasn't played out either. The NFL can kind of do whatever they want. So this whole notion that Kamara was arrested and that the NFL is for sure going to let him play all year, we don't know that. Especially if a trial begins and that there's bad optics for it. So just know that. I'm done beating a dead horse on that topic. I like Dalvin this year. It's a gut thing. Trust your gut, meet the woo. Just make sure you cuff Dalvin to Madison. I'm going to draft Madison only and let you draft Dalvin. And then I'm going to snipe Madison from you. No offense. All right, what else we got? Dial into the show right here. Let me put the phone lines up.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Call into the show. Dial 602 NFL. Down.
AJ Dillon to the moon? I think so, Alexander. I mean, there's a shot for it, yeah. I don't know if he's a lock. Where's Jimmy going? I don't know if you're referencing laughably that he could get traded, but I don't know. He'll get cut, and then whoever signs him. No idea at that point. Nobody's trading for him, though. Let me see if we got any voicemails. Voicemail group number 1. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I talking to?
Hi, Smitty. This is Jake.
What's up, Jake?
Not much. I actually just have a few dilemmas I was hoping you can run through with me.
Okay. Hit me with it.
All right. So in the second round, I picked 14. I could go CeeDee Lamb. I feel like that's a pretty reliable wide receiver pick because you have Diggs, you have Devontae, and then CeeDee's another guy. Debo probably won't fall to me there. But my other option is to go Javonte at 14. And I know you're a big Javonte guy, but I'm going Swift at 7. So I guess I could go back-to-back running back. Just curious what your thoughts are.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you've seen my Swift and Javonte is my favorite. It might be my second favorite strategy now. It's my favorite strategy of round 1s and 2. So Swift Javonte. I mean, I have tons of content on that. I don't know if you've seen any of that, but Swift Javonte. My favorite 2 players to draft. But doesn't mean that I don't like Lamb and Swift or Lamb and Javonte. Take Javonte in round 2, not in round 1. But I just think that, as much as I love Lamb, I feel like you can still get a McLaurin. You can still get a guy that I think can hang enough. And I don't know that the running. I mean, I love ETN. I love Breece Hall, so I could literally take one of those guys as well. Like meaning, I think you're worried about going running back. But I'm sitting here telling you that with your 12 and 13 pick, let's say, or 14 and whatever. You're what do you have? 11 and 14?
So I have 7 and 14. It's a 10-man.
Oh, okay. So 7 and 14. Yeah, I mean Swift's not too early there. I'm okay with Swift there. But if Jamar Chase fell or Najee, I probably would take those guys. But let's say you go Swift. So Swift and Javonte. You're worried about potentially going running back. But I'm telling you, I'd take ETN next if he was there. I'd go running back.
Okay.
Running back. And then, of course, I'd want you to get wide receiver with that next spot, as long as you could start all 3 running backs. But like DK, McLaurin, Waddle, if that's your number 1 wide receiver coming out of this, I'm fine with it. And then you get a St. Brown, you get an Elijah Moore, you get maybe an Ayuk and Hopkins combination for your wide receiver 2-3. There's a lot of ways to fill those wide receiver spots. I just think that I'm taking those running backs if all things are equal, but I'm definitely going best player available. Now, if you went Swift, Lamb, ETN, Herbert, and I'd be fine with all that too. I mean, there's tons of ways you could go. There's nothing wrong with CeeDee Lamb in round 2. Absolutely smash it. But I would lean Javonte over him. That's all I'm saying. And if you got Jamar Chase and if you got Jamar Chase and Javonte, even better.
Yeah, my one thing is I'm thinking like wide receivers later. Like I know that there's an area in the draft where there's like Robinson, Thielen, and Renfro. You think that could work for a wide receiver too, or do you like Ayuk or someone a little bit later more?
I mean, I like Robinson. Allen Robinson looks pretty solid right now. I wasn't super on board at first, with everybody's like super high evaluation, but he looks really dominant right now. So I'm okay with him being your wide receiver too. But I wouldn't look at it the way you're looking at it. You're looking at it from like a really downstream, plan it out. Who am I going to go here? Like you really need to make sure you go best player available and let it fall naturally to you. Because you don't want to have a bunch of 7s and 8s out of 10s. Like if you could rank every one of your picks and say, how good of a pick was this at the time? 7 or 8 out of 10 that you did on that one. Okay, how good of a pick was this at the time? Number 3 in my 3rd rounder. You did a 7 or 8 out of 10 on that one. Like think about it like that perspective. Grade yourself at the time you're on the clock. How good of a pick did you make? And compartmentalize every single pick. Don't put them together. They have nothing to do with each other. Other than you don't want to draft backups before you draft starters, of course. But if you have a complete hole at running back 2, so be it. Make sure you're telling yourself, I was a 9 or a 10 out of 10 with that 2nd round draft selection in terms of reach, talent, ceiling, low floor. Like worst case scenario, they earn their value back. That's what you want out of every pick you make. And if you compartmentalize your decision like that every time, keeping in keeping account of the fact that you aren't drafting 2 tight ends back to back when you start one. I'm not saying that, but if you draft Swift, Javonte, and in that knowing you need a wide receiver with one of the next 2 picks probably, but you go running back again or you go quarterback, let's say Josh Allen or whatever, it's the best pick at the time, then worry about that. You'll be able to fill any hole you create, and if best player available creates a hole, your other positions are going to be so stacked that you're fine with that. You should be fine with that. Like I've told the story before, but I had a guy order a draft call with me, and he literally was so gung-ho about trying something new. He's like, whatever you say, man, I'm doing it. I'm like, I don't want to draft for you, dude. I want to help you. This is your team. And so we decided on going best player available because he had never done that. He always went running back, no matter what. And so we went best player available, and he had a really weak running back too. But the dude was stacked everywhere. And I'm like, don't worry about it. We're gonna get you Madisons. We're going to get you Pollards. We're going to get you, all these players, Eli Mitchell. Like he would have won his league if he just would have listened to me, because he would have had Eli Mitchell, because Eli Mitchell was a player. Sermon and Mitchell together were one of my favorite. A lot of people say I missed on Sermon, but I didn't, because I cuffed Sermon and Mitchell together everywhere I talked about it. And he would have won his league, because Sermon was almost a lock for me. He was the number 1 waiver wire grab of the year on my waiver wire video, because a lot of people didn't draft him, even though he was a must draft for me. So if he would have listened to me, Mitchell would have filled his weak running back 2 hole and void that he created by going best player available. But when we were done with this draft, he unraveled everything. He started freaking out. He had anxiety about it. He's like, I don't know. I don't have a running back 2. I don't know what I'm going to do. So he basically traded away the amazing talent we assembled all around the entire team to get a really weak, and he did a poor job, got a really weak running back 2, had crappy wide receivers, and completely dismantled his team. And I never heard from him again. Because he couldn't take it. He couldn't take the stress of not being running back. And it's like, so I tell that story for a couple of reasons. One, don't do something that you're not comfortable with just because I say it or anybody says it. You got to do what's good for you. If you know you can't handle something, then make sure you don't go down a road that won't work for you. But number 2, understand and trust the process, that if you end up going best player available and you get a hole somewhere, like at running back 2, you are so stacked at those other positions because you hit home runs, you will win the league without question if you fill that void. And that's the only job you have all year. Work the waiver wire, draft sleepers, try and fill that running back 2 hole or whatever hole gets created. And then boom, you're in the money.
And Smitty, where do we buy these draft calls?
On thefantasyfootballshow.com, which you can see right here on the screen. And when you get to that, when you scroll down on the site, you'll see a pricing table. And then right below those, you'll see the draft call options, the text device, the draft call options. They're right on the homepage.
All right. Thank you very much, Smitty.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you.
Call into the show. Dial 602 NFL. Dong.
Kelsey in round 2, sure, but I would say like late round 2. Mid round 2 is okay too, but not top of 2. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I talking to?
What's up, Smitty? It's your boy Gary. How are you, man?
What's up, Gary? I'm good.
Hey, real quick, I need you to convince me why I should be taking Najee Harris at the 105 compared to Chase, just knowing that I could probably get like a Javonte and a Brees Hall combination as my 1-2. And how confident would you be if like Javonte and Brees were your 1-2?
I mean, I don't know why you're asking me to convince you to take Najee over Jamar. You're asking the guy that loves Jamar number 2 overall, so I'm not going to convince you of it. I do think that Najee and Javonte are both arguable at number 2. Both of them are going right now, according to ADP data and everything I'm seeing and reading and drafts I've been in. Both Najee and Jamar Chase are going past number 6 overall on the average, meaning we're reaching for both of them pretty hardcore at number 2 overall. So
are you taking Eckler? If Eckler falls to you, are you taking him over any of those guys?
Well, I mean, I just told you Jamar Chase is my number 2 overall. You know what I'm saying? He's my number 2. So, no, I'm not. And Najee, I could argue Najee and Eckler. I would take Najee over Eckler, but I could argue it. You know, the wind could blow a certain way, and I could go Eckler. But Jamar Chase is my number 2 overall ranked player. I try and get Jamar where I can, though. Like, I'll try and trade down, or if I've got the number 5 or 6 pick, I feel pretty darn good that I'm going to get my number 2 overall player at 5 or 6. So Jamar Chase is, you know, a home run slam dunk for me. He's 15 to 18 TD capable this year. I think he's going to take a huge step forward. This guy's a rookie last year. People should be ashamed of themselves that come in and say things like, Jamar's inconsistent, or how's Jamar going to survive with T. Higgins there? Oh, Joe Burrow's going to take a step backwards. Like, Jamar Chase was a rookie. Hit the best rookie wide receiver season we've seen. And we have people literally coming in here and complaining about him being inconsistent. Like, imagine if he can be the number 1 rookie wide receiver ever and be inconsistent doing it. Imagine what happens in year 2. Like, I just, unbelievable the way people talk about Jamar Chase being inconsistent. He vanished for a grip of games. I even reflected on a video. It was a Panic Chamber, because I was messing around with the Panic Chamber episodes, like putting them on the homepage of the YouTube channel, because I wanted to have a Panic Chamber row on my homepage, so that when you go to my YouTube homepage, you have the previous live streams. You're gonna have a row that's all Panic Chamber, a row that's all waiver wire. I'm going to make my homepage very, very easy to navigate on the YouTube channel. And so I put the Panic Chamber on one row so everyone can find it easy. And I saw, 2 or 3 of them that I'd done this offseason. And then I saw the last season we did like week 14 or something. And I played it. I was like, I wonder what I said on this. And I played it. And it was like, all right, guys, I'm going to take a lap for Jamar Chase. He's playing really bad right now. And I know I keep telling you to trade for him, and I hit the button. I make myself take a lap for my Jamar Chase advice that I keep cranking out week after week. Trade for him, trade for him, trade for him. I literally set myself on a lap. And then at the end of it, I said, I know it sounds crazy, guys, buy him. Buy Jamar Chase. And I think everybody listening right now is going to be like, Jamar Chase was great last year. What bold advice to go buy Jamar Chase. Go rewatch that Panic Chamber episode, week 14. Jamar Chase was busting for multiple weeks in a row. People were giving up on him. So, sorry to be long-winded here. My point is, Jamar Chase is going to improve so much. There's no way I pass on him for anybody if I'm sitting there like 5 or 6 and he's there.
So you're just gambling that chances are Javonte or someone like that's going to come back to you in that second and third, right?
Gambling? I mean, I'm not making any decisions based on position. I mean, I will when push comes to shove, everything's even, but I'm not drafting a running back because of what I think could happen in round 2 necessarily. I'm drafting the best player, the guy that's going to outscore everybody else at that pick when on the clock. So what is your pick? Pick what?
105 in the 12th team.
Yeah, I mean, do I mind Najee, Eckler, or Chase? Like, if you were just to say, look, I don't like Chase as much as you, I'm going to go Najee. I'd be like, hey, that's good. I love Najee at 5. That's fine. But I'm not going to make a decision based on, I have faith that ETN and Breece Hall will be there for me in 3 and 4. Like, I won't even go running back in round 2 if I don't like the running back. I have a feeling a lot of people would force it. I think a lot of people would take Barkley, and it's okay if you like Barkley there. I'm not trying to tell you not to like Barkley, but I feel like someone would take Barkley even if they weren't super high on him, and I can't stand that kind of drafting. Why not just put a blindfold on if you're going to... I'm not saying Barkley, but when you draft somebody just because you're like, I needed a running back. Like, why not put a blindfold on, put your hand in a bucket of tiered running backs and just pull one out? Like, why ever draft somebody you're like, I needed a running back, I don't really like a bunny. Why do that? Why do that? Why not draft the best player available every time you're on the clock? The guy that's going to absolutely hit a home run from that draft slot. So what I'm saying is I would take Jamar Chase, and you're saying and gamble on a running back falling in round 2. I'd take Deebo Samuel in round 2 if he fell to that pick there. Or Lamb. I wouldn't even hesitate. I would take Jamar Chase and Lamb back to back and wouldn't even bat an eye. And then I'd come in round 3, and I'd probably be looking at Breece Hall or ETN because one of them would be there. If ETN's there, I'd take ETN based on the way ADP's falling. And then I'd take ETN and Breece Hall as my running back 1 and running back 2 with a smile on my face if I had Lamb and Jamar Chase. But hopefully you get Javonte in round 2, because if you did, that would be an absolute home run.
For sure. Appreciate it, man. Just one last question. Any concern with Freiermuth's hamstring? I think it's a hamstring injury, right?
I mean, we don't really know anything right now. Like, when somebody's banged up, and we can speculate, but we don't really know. I have no idea how hurt he's going to be. Whenever someone's got an injury, you're always worried about it. Hamstrings, groins, they can linger, but we can't assume it will. Not yet.
I appreciate it, buddy.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Later. Sophomore slump for Chase. Hold our beer. Hold our beers. Crack shot. Hold our beers. Jamar Chase, a slump. You see Jamar Chase in practice and in camp, bro. Looks unreal. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I talking to?
Hey, this is New Noah.
What's up, New Noah?
I got a question for you. So this is for a 14-man league. I found out last week that I had the first overall pick.
It sounds like you're talking into a cup, bro.
Hold on.
Is that any better now?
Yeah, a lot better.
Okay. So I have the number 1 overall pick in a 14-man, 1 QB, 0.5 PPR league.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure I'm going to go JT with the number 1 pick. But in the second, third round, not asking like who to draft, but, guys that I should maybe consider there, because it feels like kind of a dead zone with and maybe a little bit too early for guys like I also like Breece Hall and Travis Etienne. So just kind of want to get your thoughts on that.
So JT, and this is a redraft?
Yep.
I mean, it's tough to say, man. Like, give me a list of 4 guys that you think will be there at your second round pick based on your league.
I think maybe like just going by rankings, like Mike Evans, T. Higgins, Kyle Pitts, Zeke, James Conner, Herbert, I think, would be available. I don't think Josh Allen at that point.
Yeah. I mean, that
guys like that. And then obviously Breece Hall and Travis Etienne, I think, would be there as well.
Yeah. Those are a little early there. I'm not saying I wouldn't take, can you trade?
No, unfortunately, no.
Hopefully a Debo or a Tyreek Hill or a Javonte falls to you.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully, if not, it gets crazy.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was gonna say, if not, it gets a little crazy because the guys available that you would take at 3.1, 3.2 based on pressure, like, oh, I can't take ETN that high, right? Or I can't take Breece Hall that high. The guys that you're taking in those guys' place based on ADP pressure and ADP, they don't feel that much better or safer. So it's tough. I mean, that's where you almost, say to yourself, like, of course, if Kelsey were there, I'd take Kelsey there. I contemplate Josh Allen only because, but I love Burrow in round 6 or 7 so much that I could see myself, like, regretting it if I'm you and you take Josh Allen because he's the best player there. Because Burrow is such a home run slam dunk and almost guaranteed to fall to round 6 now. I don't even know if I let Burrow fall to round 7. Like, I can't envision myself taking the gamble. I think every time, 9 times out of 10, I think I just go, Burrow in round 6. I just press the button. I don't think I could do it. I don't think I have the patience. I have a little bit of and I have a little bit of that. Like I'll draft him a little early just out of fear that I don't want someone to snipe me, and I don't see the 7th and 6th round picks that I'm gonna swap in that respect. Like if I get St. Brown later or whatever, I'll be fine. So I probably punch Burrow all day in the 6th round. So if you get Burrow in round 6, then and you take Josh Allen, you can't do that. I don't know, man. I mean, the list, the names you gave me, I'm not super excited about at 3.1. I just hope you have better options than that.
Yeah. What do you think about a guy like Mark Andrews if he fell there?
I don't hate it with the options you gave me. I don't hate it. I mean, ultimately, the best players available with what you read to me. You could argue Evans. I just think Evans has moved up a little too high for my liking. It's not that he can't earn it. I just don't love it. I don't love T. Higgins at 3.1, 3.2. Seems a little high to me. I don't mind T. Higgins at the end of round 3. Like I'm agreeing he could be a 3rd round player. I just don't know about 3.1. It seems really high. But if you get Burrow and Higgins stack, it feels pretty good. But best player available with what you named, Josh Allen and Andrews could be, and you'd feel pretty good about that. If you had JT, Josh Allen, and Mark Andrews, you literally could have the number 1 player at all 3 positions potentially. So I contemplate it, but again, if I get Burrow around 6, I'm kicking myself that I have Josh Allen now on my team when I could have had another player. So that's where it's a catch-22. Like, would you rather have ETN, Joe Burrow, Mark Andrews, and JT? Probably.
Sure.
So
yeah, the last guy I would say that I'm considering there is like AJ Brown, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Even that's a little early. But.
It is a little early, but you know what? Andrews and AJ Brown would be pretty fire.
Yeah, definitely agree.
I think that could be your best emergency plan of attack, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I like that. And then you get Burrow, you get JT, you get Breece Hall or ETN and with one of the other picks in between. That's good. I like that plan. I think AJ Brown's your safety net.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate it, Smitty.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Later. Call in anytime. Yeah, I like that approach. AJ Brown's a really good safety net 3rd round player. Little early, but I like it. I like him. I mean, you could argue Mike Evans. You really could. I think a lot of people would take Mike Evans over A.J. Brown. I just like A.J. Brown. I think A.J. Brown's going to ball out this year. I think everybody judging A.J. Brown. First of all, injury. Sure. I'm worried about injuries too. But everybody worried about volume. Buckle up. Buckle up, Buttercups, because volume is going to be different in Philly with Hurts throwing the football. What's up? You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I talking to?
It's T-Hoo, man.
What's up, T-Hoo? What's going on?
Oh, man, another day, man. Yeah, man, I'm trying to see if you can, I guess, rate my wide receivers.
Okay.
All right, man. I got Keenan Allen, Mike Thomas, Allen Robinson, and let's see, Kenny Galladay, Alan Lazard, Harmon, and Deontay Johnson.
Say those one more time. Say those one more time.
Williams.
Say those one more time.
All right, I got Mike Thomas, Keenan Allen, I got Allen Robinson, I got Jameson Williams, I got Kenny Galladay, Alan Lazard, Hardman, Deontay Johnson, and I got Olave.
Okay, so I got them on screen here. I mean, I like them. They're not like flashy, but they're solid. A-Rob, Deontay, Keenan Allen. I mean, they're all going to score pretty well. MT could be, could be something. We'll have to see. I don't invest in him highly, but you got him on your team already. Galladay, I remember how good Galladay could have been. So good. It's so crazy how bad he became. He's like almost a droppable player, if not, is. I like it. I like it. I don't know that you can sell any of these guys high to make any moves, but I would say you have an underrated squad. Most people will overlook your wide receivers, and you could end up finishing much higher every single time. Every single week you'll have higher scoring wide receivers than people will probably predict or give credit to. But like, would I trade? Donate. Auto-corrected. Donate. Hold on. Deontay. Stupid autocorrect. A-Rob's got high value. Deontay's got high value. MT's got high value. But I don't know that anybody's going to give you high enough value, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So
yeah, and my running backs is deep. Since it's a super flex, I'm pretty deep at running back, and I'm pretty deep at quarterback.
All right, what are your
my tight end?
Who's your tight end?
It's Kyle Pitts.
Okay, so who are your running backs?
I have Barkley, ETN. I got Javonte, Penny, Rhamondre, and I even got Ken Walker. So it's decent.
Okay, your quarterback?
It's Josh Allen, and I got Josh Allen and Trey Lance, and I got Jameis Winston on the bench, and Baker Mayfield
and Kyle Pitts. Okay, so your team is solid, bro. So Javonte and ETN are your top two running backs, in my opinion. Even though Barkley is going to be ranked higher by most people, I would explore trading. God, your quarterbacks are phenomenal in a super flex with Kyle Pitts. I mean, you really don't need to do anything. But if I was to try and massage this team into a little bit better squad, I would say use Barkley. I'm going after underrated wide receivers like Debo, DK, McLaurin. I mean, it's good. But you don't.
Somebody offered me Tyreek Hill and Robert Woods for Barkley. But,
I would take Hill. I would take Hill for Barkley right now if I'm you.
Okay, all right.
I would.
Yeah,
I mean,
because I know wide receivers are kind of weak, so that's why I was. You're a little worried coming in, and it's dynasty, so you're like, hey man, I know I got to boost up.
Oh, it's okay. It's dynasty. Hold on. If it's dynasty, hold on. Yeah, Barkley's got more value if it's dynasty, but I don't know. I still feel like maybe I consider. Can you get rid of Mike Thomas and Deontay for Hill and something?
Yeah, I probably could.
I would go that direction maybe, but I would definitely trade Barkley. I'd try and get, if it's dynasty, I'd try and get Breece Hall. I would try and go after Swift using Barkley and Deontay. I would try and go after.
I might can get Najee.
Oh yeah,
I think I might can get Najee.
Trade Barkley and Deontay for Najee right now.
Okay.
And you can afford it. You got a lot of depth, so I don't mind doing a 2-for-1 in this situation. But you get Najee on this team, and boom, I'm all about it. I mean, you got enough wide receiver depth to kind of make that work. You'd be a little thin at wide receiver, but I would do that for Najee if it's dynasty.
Yeah.
And Olave and dynasty is pretty good. I mean, Olave is going to become better and better. J-Mo is going to become better and better. Keenan Allen, yeah. I mean, Keenan Allen's really underrated too. So, like, you're good. You got a good team.
Even Mike Thomas, man. Like, if Michael Thomas comes back, he'll be solid. The safety valve. That's why I look at him, man. It's like
nice job, man.
He'll probably get you above 50 game.
I like your team, bro.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for calling. One more call. Then we're going to head out, and then we'll be back at 7 p.m. unless there's some other crazy breaking news. Let me check the breaking news chats and tweets and all the things I got going on. I don't think there's anything else. Nope. Nope. We got it all covered. These are your bits of breaking news on screen right here. Here, every time Ron Navy calls, every time it goes berserk, Ron. It goes berserk whenever you call. What's up?
Hey, got a question for you. Your caller before that last one. You don't think that he should try to get Breece Hall or ETN in the third, considering it was a 14-man league?
Hold on, I'm trying something new here. Overcome, I've merged you and Ron Navy together. Are you there, Overcome?
Oh my gosh! Holy smokes! This is wild.
Overcome.
There we go.
What's up,
We're
man?
special,
dudes.
All right, Overcome.
We're special, Overcome.
Hey, Overcome. Hold on 1 second. Ron, continue what you were saying, and then we'll both answer.
Okay. That guy called before the last caller. You don't think that he should try to target at least ETN or Hall in the third round? Especially in a 14-man league, considering that by the time the fourth round comes back, that's the 56th pick, which is normally a fifth round in a 12-man draft.
I don't remember what specific scenario. The one where I said I don't care if you go running back.
No. The one where you told him that you were good on Brown, A.J. Brown as the safety, but he said he was in a 14-man league. So in a 14-man league, neither one of them are making it back to him in the fourth round at all. I mean, considering by the time it gets back to him in the fourth round, it's the 56th pick.
Yeah, I mean, you make a good point, but I still wouldn't force it. ETN's not a bad selection. Like I told him, I'd maybe go one. Both of them would be. I don't know. I'd even go both of them if you felt like you wouldn't see any running backs. I mean, you have to factor that in. I think A.J. Brown is still a monster there. Like I'm best player available, and if A.J. Brown feels like the best player available, I'm still going to do it. Plus, he's still getting a running back, so it's not like he's going to be out all running backs.
Well, no, I know that. I'm just talking about not a second round pick, but his third round pick.
I mean, I'd be okay. I told him I'd be okay with ETN with one of those. Yeah.
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 Okay. All right. Because I was like a little confused because I know it's like 14-round leagues are pretty brutal, and you lose basically a round in ADP in a 14-man league.
Yeah, eventually you do. What's up, Overcome?
Yeah.
Yeah, what up, guys?
What do you got?
I'm awesome. My question. So I've been doing a ton of mock drafts. I'm in two leagues this season. I can't do too many anymore, I guess. I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. But two wide receivers, 2 running backs, and a tight end and a quarterback, right, and a flex. And I've been doing mock after mock, and I dub a mock a failure if I don't land at least Khalil or Waller in the 5th or 6th round. I've got this in me where I've got to have my entire starting lineup, solid, or I'm not pleased at all. Should I change my way of thinking?
He's like, I just picture him like Rain Man, over, drafting. If he doesn't get it, no, I want Kittle. I'm out of here. He just shuts down the computer. It's like my brother. When he's younger. My brother when he's younger and he's learning to play the piano as a kid, he had like all kinds of attention deficit problems, and he was like sitting there to play the piano, and if he messed up one little thing, he'd bang on the keyboard and have to clear it out. He would no. I just picture Overcome flipping out if he can't get Kittle.
Internally.
I mean, you got to adapt to that. Like if you're in a real draft and you don't get one of them, you got to be able to recover. But I mean, I don't blame you if there's times where if I don't get Kenneth Walker around 7 and someone snipes him around 5.5, and I'm not even drafting with my own people that snipe him, I feel the same way. I get mad, but you can't really focus on that. Like that's one player, or 2 players. Plus, bro,
Yeah,
I mean Goddard's your savior, bro. If Goddard's sitting there around 8, you're fine.
Yeah. The things that come to mind, I remember those weeks he just dropped the zeros last year. I mean, I know it's got to change, but
if what?
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's been tough. It's been tough, man, going with anyone past like Schultz I can tolerate, but
You got to overcome
it's
that
gonna be
overcome.
him and Lamb, right?
You got to overcome that overcome.
But I'm overcome.
You got to live up to your name, bro. You got to be able to overcome anything.
Yeah.
But Goddard's fine. Goddard, if you get Goddard, you'll be very happy. Goddard could outscore Kittle easily. I'm not saying he will. I'm just saying he easily could.
What do you think about Zach Ertz till Hopkins comes back?
He's older and an injury risk, but I do like him. When he's on the field, I think he could definitely produce and do well, but he's older. So there's some injury risk there for sure. What?
What do you think, Ron?
He's just like, he's old.
Yeah, Ron gets a kick out of how I degrade players based on being dog years. They're dog years. I mean, the injury risk goes up so much when you are at that teeter-tottering on that point of drop-off historically for players. If you're a 27-year-old running back, you're literally in the coffin. It's just a matter of, can you get away with one more year before the lid slams shut? This is no more 31-year-old running backs. 30-year-old running backs is 27. You've got a bunch of mileage like Derrick Henry has, and then we argue about this all day. It's like he could have one more year. I could be wrong on Derrick Henry, but I'm not wrong on Derrick Henry for multiple years. I'm jumping early because I know that at some point I'm going to be left holding the bag in week 9, week 12, week 15, and I don't want to take the chance if I feel like this is for sure the last year. So with like a guy like Ertz, it's like I like Ertz. I would definitely draft Ertz. I'm not saying I wouldn't, especially if like he's the best player left. But I find it really, really unusual for me to leave a draft without Knox, Schultz, Goddard, or Freiermuth. Like I can't miss on all those guys. If I miss on one and miscalculate, I got time because they're all kind of spread out to make sure I don't mess up again. And so I usually have one of those guys.
Okay.
The reason I don't take Ertz, I took Ertz when I took a lot of Ertz at first in underdog, but then he just started moving so far up, his value he dropped because I couldn't get him where I could get him before, which was great value in the way later rounds. So that's why I stopped on Ertz.
Right on.
Yeah.
To get him in the 16th, 17th round before, and now he's jumped way up where I just don't even look at him no more.
Yeah. Let's see if we can emerge this call too. Let's see who this is. What's up? You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who are we talking to?
What's up, Smitty? This is the Turtle Hermit.
We got the Turtle, we got Overcome, and we got Ron Navy all on the line.
I told you I would call.
This is going to get crazy.
Let's go. All right, boys. All right. I'm having a tough time with this Kamara news, man, because I really like Kamara. But, yeah, that suspension looming or, anything taking away time from him on the field is going to mess my rankings up. So, as of right now, I'm feeling more comfortable with Aaron Jones and even maybe a Swift. So, how do you guys rank the three of them?
Well, first of all, let's correct it. The news, according to everyone else on the planet besides me, is good for Kamara. So there's the news for Kamara. The news for Kamara. The interpretation is different. The news for Kamara is that he's not going to face a suspension all year. That's the prediction. The odds of him facing a suspension are very low, according to Adam Schefter and everybody reporting on it. And I'm not saying that they're going to be wrong. I'm just saying I don't think that gives everybody or should give everybody a comfortable feeling of not packaging in any more risk whatsoever anymore. No one's baking in any missed games, and so all I'm saying is pump the brakes on everybody needs to pump the brakes while they're absorbing this Adam Schefter report and everybody that keeps regurgitating it and hammering home, and everybody's just saying Kamara's going to play all year. We don't know. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's going to miss any time.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah, I'm saying
agree with you
I'm
right
saying
there.
that if the footage leaks, he's gone. If let's say somehow bad press generates from something, there's another photo that gets released. I don't know if you saw the photo that got released of the guy. The photo was awful of the guy. He got just completely.
Yeah, no doubt. But what I want to kind of narrow down is, I mean, barring any of that, take those things out of the equation. It's a no-brainer you draft Kamara over those guys, right?
No, Swift. I mean, I have Swift.
Do you think Swift could be better than Kamara on the Lions than he could be even with the Saints team that they are right now?
I think people are acting like the Saints are this amazing team. I think the Lions.
No, I don't think they're an amazing team. I really don't think they're an amazing team. But what I do think is they have a good offensive line. They have a decent run game installed. And if their pass catchers step up in any way, you're going to get some more space for that guy. And we know what he could do with it. So, I mean, again, that's the same thing you saw with Swift for sure last year because, again, everybody in my league passed on him. He went in the fourth, and we all kicked ourselves for it. But at the same time, that injury risk is totally there with Swift.
I mean, we're talking about hypotheticals because Swift is facing this. Like if Swift came in with no issues whatsoever, he'd be a top 5 pick. But the fact remains
on the Lions.
No, I'm sorry, Kamara.
I mean,
if Kamara,
you got to factor.
Hold on. If Kamara came,
you're talking about Kamara.
Yeah, sorry. If I said Swift, if Kamara came in with no risk whatsoever of missing time, like he was a model citizen, all this stuff went away.
Yep.
He'd be a top 5 pick. But we're not living in that world, so there's no reason to entertain it. Swift to me,
right? But that's huge. That's huge when it comes to if there's going to be no suspension. I mean, you got to take risks and. Again, getting a guy like you said, like Kamara at the 1-2 turn could be, absolutely league winning right there.
It could be, but I think Swift could still outscore him, even if he played all year. Even if let's say nothing came out of this, I believe in the Lions' offense way more than it sounds like you do. I think they're actually a really, really good team that has a mediocre quarterback.
Listen, nobody believes in the Lions more than me last year. You could ask my teammate, league mates, because I had Amon-Ra St. Brown deliver me that 31-point game on championship weekend when I won it all. But that's besides the point. Again, you can't have the faith in the Lions. I mean, to carry you all the way. Yeah.
I do have the faith. I have the faith in that situation enough for Swift. Like, you got to think about it this way, man. It's not all about wins and losses and how good a team is as a whole.
Of course.
If Swift's gonna be in a position where he's matchup proof, he can do it all. He can get all the targets when they're down. He can get all the rushes when they're up. He's very protected into I think a amount of workload that's a perfect balance of a team playing from behind,
no doubt about
having to score a lot of points. I'm just gonna say this right now. I have zero concerns about Swift outperforming Kamara based on the offenses, based on the teams.
What about Aaron Jones?
I think Aaron Jones is a great second-round pick, but I think Swift is a top 6 overall pick this year. I think Kamara.
I get that, and you got to factor in AJ Dillon on that. I totally understand that. But again, I just feel like, so many years of Aaron Jones just producing monster numbers. And yeah, he definitely had a lapse last year, no doubt about it. But I just see so much work for him in the passing game, especially Aaron Jones, where you got to talk about him as one of those guys.
All right, Ron. Ron, what's your take?
But
I'll let you guys go.
Well, as far as the Aaron Jones thing goes, and Dillon is so much better of a value, and he actually outproduced. He did better than Aaron Jones did last year. I mean, if you look at them, they had about the same touchdowns, both rushing and receiving. I mean, one did better and got more touchdowns in receiving. One did more on the ground. But, I mean, their touchdowns overall were about even. And Dillon had more overall yards than Jones had. So on that take, I have that. But as far as the Kamara thing goes, I am no Swift fan. Trust me.
He's not.
Everybody knows I'm not a big Swift guy.
He likes Cousins. He thinks Cousins is a better runner than Swift.
No, I wouldn't go that far. But okay, that would be. No, but I like Najee better than Swift. I like Eckler better than Kamara. Eckler doesn't have any red flags on him. He doesn't.
No doubt about that.
Not going to affect the team. And even though Kamara might not get suspended, there's always going to be that lingering over the team, and it's always going to be in the back of everybody's mind. Okay, are we going to have this guy all year? Or are we not going to have this guy all year? And a new coach, yeah, he's been there. I mean, he's brought up from the ranks, but still he has some different philosophies than Peyton had. So, and plus I don't trust Winston. Winston is always hurt. So who's going to be their quarterback once Winston goes down? Because I don't think Winston's going to make it the full year.
I honestly think that the Lions could be better than the Saints overall this year. I mean, I don't even think that's bold. I think it could be argued either way. I think a lot of people are excited about the Saints.
I don't know about that, man. Nobody thinks the Lions are going to be better than the Saints. I mean, nobody.
Well, wait. Give the Lions some credit.
I just said it.
Their culture is changed.
Give the Lions credit. They're an 0-13 team during the season. You know, they're in shambles. I mean, their fantasy options, they got junk time, garbage time points, but I mean, that's nothing you can, fully rely on, in my opinion.
At the very end of the game, but they lost a lot of close games last year. They lost like seven games. I forget how many it was, but it was a lot.
Overcome, what do you think?
If Kamara's going to be sitting there at the end of the second round, he's going to look spicy. And if I'm going to commit to him, I better be committed to drafting another running back or something right away behind him.
Well, we're talking about Swift versus Kamara. Who you like? Who do you like and why?
I like Kamara better. I just that legal issue, right? And who does Kamara have behind him? Mark Ingram, right? Is that it? Is Tony Jones still there?
Yeah, he's there, but I don't think he's a factor.
Listen, I think it's a good spot where these guys are going, because in most leagues, these are guys that are going to be pretty much drafted together. I mean, you got a position where you can get Aaron Jones and Barkley. You can get Jones and Swift, and Kamara too. So I think that's a great strategy on the corner. And, yeah, thanks, guys. I got to run, but I'll listen up.
Yeah, all right, man. Appreciate it.
What it comes down to is what you like, bro. Whatever you like, that's what you got to go with.
Yeah, I think you've got to also consider that, like, again, these things always sound weird until they happen. Like, the Bengals were laughed at. When we start talking about the Lions the way that I'm talking about them, and I'm not saying they're going to turn it around this year with Goff. Goff is a problem. But you never know. Things happen in strange ways. I'm not saying they're going to trade midseason for a quarterback. I'm not saying there's some unknown gem that's going to rise up, but it could. I mean, anything can happen, right? But the Lions have all the pieces in place, minus the quarterback position, to be a very big-time turnaround team. And I disagree. I think the Lions definitely are a team that can beat any team on Sunday. Any team. They can beat any team on any given Sunday. And Anthony Lynn's gone. He was awful for this team. They turned it around so fast when they removed him as a play caller. They ripped his play calling duties from him, from his kung fu grip, at about mid-season. And that's when Swift opened up. Anthony Lynn kept calling Jamal Williams his A-back and Swift his B-back for half of a season. So he's gone. The Lions are going to look so much better. Goff is kind of like Tannehill. He's not great, but the Lions will make him look better. Jameson Williams is going to turn it on by midseason and start looking good. St. Brown's he was a top 2 wide receiver from week 13 to 16 or 13 to 18. I really like the Lions. I think the Lions are one of the better turnaround teams, and it starts this year. It just doesn't get complete or fully in full motion until they get that quarterback in place. But I think they could be better than the Saints. I don't think the Saints are any lock to be good at all. Like they have a lot of good talent, but like Ron said, it's all on Winston. If Winston gets hurt, they're done. Like they're not gonna win more than 8 games. You know? So I don't know that Kamara's in a better spot than Swift, even if both are healthy, both are playing all year. I think they're both comparable. But I think Swift has something. Swift could be the number 2 running back in fantasy football 2022. Like, I'm not saying he will be. I think he could be. And I think he's getting no respect in this conversation as far as being compared to a healthy, unsuspended, full-go Kamara. Swift could hang with him.
Maurice Jones-Drew said Swift is the best back in the game not too long ago.
And Maurice Jones-Drew is really good at predicting breakout running backs. So let's just put that out there. So I honestly believe that could be true. So, all right, gentlemen, I'm gonna call it. I appreciate you. I will see you guys at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Roger that. Thanks, man.
All right, thank you, Ron Navy. Thank you, Overcome. See you guys later. That was kind of fun. Maybe we'll do that at 7 p.m. Put multiple people on the phone. Start arguing. I'll see you all at 7 p.m. I'm live every Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. And anytime there's breaking news, which is why we went live today. Early. We've been live for how long? Hour and 35 minutes, man. It goes so fast. But we had a little breaking news just because we had some players to talk about. Appreciate everybody being here. Overcome with a super chat. Overcome extends the show. Extended 2 minutes. Thank you, kind sir. Appreciate you, Overcome. Just in time to rewatch. Attaboy Space Ricky. Aloha. Appreciate you. Great show, Smitty. Appreciate you going live this morning. Absolutely. Blackbeard. Hit that thumb up button on your way out the door. We got 137 thumbs up, though. That's phenomenal. 140 of you still in here. Breaking news today was that Brian Robinson looking like the starter because the news today suggested that Antonio Gibson was running with the special teams and the third string, and he fumbled, and it's absolutely crazy to even bank on Gibson at this point. Smitty, you're crazy as hell if you think the Saints couldn't win 8 games with Andy Dalton after last year's QB's 1-9. I don't think so, Linda. I think everybody in here could admit it could go either way. I don't think you're crazy for liking them to win more than 9 games. So I don't know how it's crazy on the flip side, but I still appreciate you. But I've been called more worse than crazy, Linda. You know how many names I was called when I said the Bengals will win the division last year, Linda? Do you know how many people sent me eyeball emojis and said I was absolutely ludicrous to suggest that the Ravens were going to be beat out by the Bengals, that the Browns were going to have an awful fall-apart season? I mean, it's all uncomfortable until it happens, Linda. It always is. Appreciate every single one of you. I will see you at 7 p.m. Eastern. Get on over to the Fantasy Football Show.
Show ends in 10 seconds.
For your one-on-one text advice with me. Your bowl predictions, your rankings, everything that you need to win and dominate your league is over at thefantasyfootballshow.com. Trade calculator, bowl predictions, rankings galore, dynasty rankings, rookie rankings, super rookie rankings, best pick in each round rankings, top 200 rankings, text advice, trade calculators, you name it. I will see you all at 7 p.m. unless like some kind of crazy news breaks later. People are getting burrowed left and right, and people are going to remember it.
Get burrowed.